Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Cucci, Product Marketing Director for Algolia. Thank you so much for joining me today as we go through From Aisle to AI, the next generation of grocery growth. I grew up in Boston and lived in New York City for a while after university, and I now live in London. And I can confidently say that the challenges for grocery are similar on both sides of the pond, and it doesn't stop at just the US and UK. The digital grocery aisle isn't just evolving, it's being re-engineered. Today, we'll take a look at how AI is powering the next wave of grocery growth. Now, you may already be a little exhausted or overwhelmed by how much you're hearing about AI, but today I aim to give you some real-world, tangible examples to help get you excited about what's next, because I think that the opportunity for grocery to evolve is game-changing. 90% of consumers shop across online and in-store channels, but online channels are expected to grow over 5 times faster than in-store, and online sales growth rates are expected to more than double by the end of this year compared to 2024 alone. And taking a look back is almost imperative to recognize just how far grocery has come even in the last 5 years and how much it will continue to grow. The original omnichannel seeds were planted in the 2010s and platforms continued to expand. And we, of course, saw the great acceleration of 2020 and 2021, which brought many folks who would have previously only shopped in-store online. The growth in the past 5 years has been incredible. And we now sit, or have the opportunity to sit, at the edge of a truly unified grocery experience. And if you thought 2020 was a boom for digital grocery, consider your next shopper. Folks born in 2005 are turning 20 this year, likely moving into their first apartments and officially on their own for grocery shopping. And they are far more likely to discover grocery products by browsing search on your app or website than they are your store shelves. 46% more likely, in fact, and almost the complete opposite of the baby boomer generation. And AI is no longer optional. Neha Ghai of Grocery Dopio warns that grocers that delay AI adoption risk revenue loss and market competitiveness. So the question isn't whether to adopt AI, it's how quickly you can deploy it to meet rising customer expectations and balance the unique needs of your business. Let's take a look at what it means to miss an opportunity like that. You may remember Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, or A&P for short. They were once the largest US grocer, but they underinvested in e-commerce, they underinvested in technology, and they never modernized stores with loyalty apps or personalized recommendations when their competitors were focused on those exact enhancements. A&P filed for bankruptcy twice and ultimately liquidated and sold off all of their stores. Your next growth engine isn't in the aisle. It's in AI. But everyone's talking about AI, so let's cut through the noise and look at some real ways that grocers are using it to win. We've studied the leaders. We're lucky to call many of them our customers, and we're seeing 5 major pillars. Search that converts, merchandising for margin, recommendations that remember, agentic that's actionable, and inventory that talks back. So let's dive into each of these pillars with some real-world proof. A major US grocer with a particularly cult-like following saw a 53.5% conversion rate after implementing AI search. Great search isn't just about relevance. It's about driving conversion while protecting margins. Implementing search that is intelligent, goal-aware, margin-aware, and inventory-aware creates an experience that shoppers love while also driving higher conversions for the business metrics that matter most to you. Automercado highlights their ability to provide more visibility to their CPGs, the ease of promoting higher margin products, and the use of personalization to drive meaningful results. And, merchandising that is powered by AI means that every search result can boost profitability. Historically, grocers have had to rely on static in-store signage, end cap displays, planograms, and category merchandisers to feature private label or sponsored products. Now, leaders are turning every search box, category page, homepage carousel, and more into a data-driven digital end cap that maximizes shopper relevance, features higher margin own brand products, and adds to your media revenue strategy. And of course, if we're talking about AI, we're also seeing leaders use agentic to create unique experiences that match grocery shoppers' unique tastes. Agentic is providing the opportunity to create winning experiences that were never before possible because you couldn't have this conversation-based engagement. It's a great example of searching for inspiration or looking for an answer. So you might say, I'm hosting a pizza party for a 10-year-old's birthday, or I need a sangria recipe to help get me through said 10-year-old's birthday party. I'll give you another example. Let's say that a shopper is hosting a dinner party and they're stressed because they just learned that 2 of their guests are gluten-free. The shopper can now have a conversation with the shopping assistant to determine a menu and be inspired by recipes that fit the dietary restrictions. Building on that same example, let's say that the dinner host is also nervous about how much of a particular ingredient is needed to feed the whole party. If they were shopping in your store, they might have asked a store associate, and you want to create that same meaningful, personalized touch on your website or app. With AI, shoppers can select their recipe from chat, update it with how many people they're going to be serving, and the recipe will automatically and dynamically update to have the amount of ingredients that are needed to feed that amount of people. The user can then simply click add to cart and they're ready for checkout. Another agentic experience is Easy List Fast. It provides the opportunity to turn every grocery list into your conversion, no matter where it lives. So let's say, someone's in the kitchen and their hands are messy, and they just realized they forgot that last ingredient. So they're using their voice assistant to add to their grocery list. Or if you're like me, you make your grocery list in the Notes app on your phone every week. But shoppers can upload their list and view it from wherever it lives and view their grocery list with digital aisles to shop the shelf. Think of it like the clueless closet for grocery, though I may be aging myself with that example. Or think about it as someone who walks into your grocery store, looks down at their list, and when they look back up, it has magically shrunk to only feature the aisles of the products that are on that grocery shopper's unique list. Consider what your conversion looks like when you create an experience that is that convenient. We're also seeing leaders focused on personalized recommendations. For instance, offering a personalized recommendation when a previously purchased or favorited item is out of stock can actually lead to a 39% boost in conversion rate, a result we've seen firsthand with one of our current customers out of the UK. This could be based off of out of stock items, based off of the intent of the user, based off of their user profile, or a combination of all of the above. Shoppers get relevant, timely results that match their unique tastes, dietary restrictions, or preferences, and the result for you, an increase in conversion and in loyalty. Which brings us to our last pillar. A major US retail drugstore with a similar amount of categories to many grocery stores has used real-time stock visibility to create engaging experiences that convert digitally initiated retail searches into local purchases. Inventory-aware experiences build loyalty by giving shoppers the confidence that what they see is what they'll get. At the same time, real-time stock visibility helps stores reduce waste and restock smarter, cutting operational costs and further supporting your bottom line. Focusing in this way is a win-win. Grocery thrives where convenience meets experience, and that convenience drives meaningful growth for your business. The next generation of grocery growth is here. Will you re-engineer your digital aisle or risk being left behind? If you'd like to see how we're helping some of the leaders create experiences just like these, please stop by Algolia booth 1649. We would love to chat with you about our intelligent grocery solution. And if you're interested in getting the content from today's presentation, you can go ahead and scan that QR code and we'll follow up after the show. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention today. It is greatly appreciated, and I hope to talk with some of you very soon. Thank you.